Hey, what's going on YouTube? Happy Monday, friends. Hope you guys did. I hope you guys having. I'm having a little bit difficult today, guys. So stick with me. A little rough day, but I want to still show up for this live. So we're not gonna waste any second. We're gonna hop right into it. Mentorship Monday, right? Hope you guys always having the best day of your entire life. And welcome to today's Mentorship Monday live. And as you see the topic, we're going to talk today about self-awareness, right? So self-awareness, we're going to jump, like I said, right into it. If more people if jumping in or you're watching the replay, please leave a comment to know what was the benefit of, or what did you learn today in the comments. So I would highly appreciate, guys. So any feedback, how was it, did you find it helpful, or was it something just like, blah, total crap, So please give me a feedback, give me your highlights, give me something that you learned, one thing that you learned. Leave me in the comments, if you're watching right now or on a replay. I know a lot of people usually watching in a replay. So friends, self-awareness, right? So how to level up in fitness and in life in general through self-awareness. Because I see this path a lot, and trust me, I'll work in progress on this too. I'm not perfect, but it's something that I see. I had a lot of calls lately with my clients. I do usually monthly check-in call, and I see this happens. I mean, I've been coach for 10 years, so trust me, I've seen it all. And the self-awareness, it's a very powerful tool that I want to really discuss today. Because let's be honest, in order to see progress, you don't need any magic pills. You don't need any magic workout. You don't need more workouts. You just need to be damn honest with yourself. That's it. You just got to be honest with yourself. Because I don't know why, but we as a human being, we always tend to do this to ourselves. We love to lie to ourselves. And let me write it for you, or let me read it for you. What is self-awareness, right? So I have here in front of me. So self-awareness is the ability to understand your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, as well as how they impact yourself and others. Okay? Let it sink in for a second. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, as well as how they impact yourself and others. All right? So that's what we're going to talk today, is what is self-awareness, okay? So, and self-awareness, I believe it's a secret weapon for anything in your life, but especially in your fitness journey, okay? It's a secret weapon, my friends. And today, right now, I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to share with you five secrets, so basically 5 blueprints, 5 steps how to figure it out, like steps to take actionable steps to figure it out, how to fix your self-awareness, how to improve it, how to get the best shape in your life, how to become the best version of yourself, whether it's for yourself, for your loved ones, in your business, your body. And I'm talking from my own experience, guys. When I locked in the last 6 months, you've probably seen my transformations. You can go to my page over here, or you've seen on Instagram. I lost 15 pounds, about 15 pounds of fat since February. In February, I was the heaviest, 172 pounds, and I wasn't self-aware. I was lying to myself. And when I finally utilized these 5 tips that I'm going to share with you right now, little step by step, then you're going to be able to unlock it, and also you'll be able to get in the best shape of your life. All right. So first blueprint step, you got to figure it out. Where am I lying to myself? Okay? You gotta ask yourself with curiosity and full genuine questioning. Where am I lying to myself? And trust me, you probably can find 1 thing or 2 where you're lying to yourself. You gotta ask yourself, am I really locked in right now? Am I really dedicated to this fitness journey? Am I really in caloric deficit? Because you're like, Vlad, I'm doing all of this, I'm doing all of that, I'm working out. Maybe even some of my clients see this right now, because I share for them too this live and also for YouTube. But they're like, Vlad, I'm doing everything, but my progress is not as fast. Why? Why is that? Why? And my answer is, I'll figure it out right now. First, where are you lying to yourself? Are you really genuinely every single day in caloric deficit? Or maybe you're skipping, some stuff here and there, or maybe drinks on the weekend or some extra pizza or something, that you're not lugging in. And that's how like our mind, seriously guys, going crazy. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I had a call with my client, a monthly check-in call, and he a little bit stuck, we're having some progress, but he a little stuck, in specific weight for quite some time. And I'm like, so what can, tell me, like, how is everything? How's nutrition going? He's like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'm eating high protein, but to be honest, sometimes I'm not lugging in some muffin or something that I eat, some alcohol on the weekend. I'm like, what? Wait a second. So you're telling me, you're just literally not honest with yourself. Literally, it's the first thing you're doing. You're not hurting me as your coach. You're hurting yourself by not lugging the food. And that muffin can be easily 500 calories, out of blue that you're not tracking. And that's maybe what stops you from getting progress. Imagine you've been caloric deficit and boom, you eat that muffin and you have that alcohol or something and you put yourself exactly back to maintenance or even in surplus. So that's why you're not losing weight, maybe even gaining. So ask yourself, how your workouts, are you really going all in, going hard in your workouts? Are you getting your steps in? Or you just half-assing? You go to the gym and you're just going through the motion just to check the box, or if the gym is busy. I see people, I swear I see all the time, when I'm at the gym with my client or something, and I see a person would walk in, they see the gym gets a little bit busy, and they would spend like 3 minutes. I'm not even kidding, exaggerating, guys. 3 minutes they spend at the gym, they stop on the treadmill, start on the treadmill for 3 minutes, or they do one set of something, and they freaking leave. That's it. That's how crazy blows my mind. I mean, come on. Yeah, gym is busy, but find something, do something, walk for 15 minutes. They literally spend 3 minutes and they leave. That's it. So ask yourself, are you just half-assing? You go into the gym for a few minutes, you see a busy gym and you leave right away, or you really going all in, in those 30 minutes that you have, you're giving 100% at the gym. So ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? Because seriously, no one else knows. Only you know what's hiding behind those closed doors. Seriously. So there's no one you're lying but yourself. Okay. So step number 1, ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? Okay. Step number 2, actionable step number 2, sit in silence. Hey guys, feel free to write it down. All right. Feel free to write in all of this stuff down within the comments, or take pen and paper and write things down. Okay, so ask yourself, number 2, so first, where am I lying to myself? And I'm pretty sure you can find 1 or 2 things, because that's what I've been doing to myself. Before I was the heaviest back in January, I was lying to myself. I'm like, damn, I'm kind of working out every day, I'm kind of moving, but I never was locked in with my nutrition. I was slipping in on the weekend. I would not track here and there some stuff, or ice cream on the weekend, and that's what kept me, or even I was gaining weight. So number 2, sit in silence. That's a good one. Sit in silence. Okay, you're like, why? What's that? Is some voodoo crap, lad? No, sit in silence is not some meditation, guys. Sit in silence, that means you gotta be sometimes with your thoughts, like you gotta have a clear vision. I call it silence creates clarity. And trust me, most of us nowadays, I'm right now building it. Sometimes it's hard for me even to sit down for 5 minutes. I'm still learning actually this, sometimes I can be good for 10 minutes, but sometimes it's just 5 minutes and my brain just start running, 100 miles an hour. And it's okay, just let it run, but sit in silence for 10 minutes. No audiobook, no music, not some meditation music, no listening to some podcast, anything, just pure silence. Nothing around you for 10 minutes, and see how you feel. See where you're going. Listen to your body, how it feels right now in the moment. Seriously, nowadays with social media, we have literally attention of like golden fish, right? It's attention span. We have 10-second attention. We're always freaking scrolling like this, on the phone. So we never have attention just, to sit down and have some clarity about our day for 10 minutes. That's all you need to do. Sit in silence for 10 minutes, and that silence can help you create clarity, and you can listen to your body, what it tells you back, okay? Because with all the noise that we run all the day, you're not even hearing what's going on with your body. You're not listening to your body. So sit in silence, actionable step number 2, all right? Actionable step number 3. That's a good one. Ask for feedback. How about that? Ask for feedback. Step number 3. When did you last time ask someone for feedback or anything? That's why people hire coach. And when I hired a coach for myself, I was like, I already had mentor for a couple of years for my business, but when I hired, I was like, come on, I'm coach. Why do I need coach? Even if I heard a million times that even the best coaches always have coaches, I was like, why do I need coach? Come on, I can keep myself accountable. But when I hired, Fernandez, you can see on my page, actually on my Instagram, I'm always tagging him. It's my man Fernandez from Australia. My dude from Australia, and he helps me actually. I really like it right now. My goal to get to handstand. If you don't know, I'm really practicing. I'm trying to learn handstand right now, and he's calisthenic coach, and he helps me to do that. I'm already so this close. Before I was running circles for over a year by myself. Now just in 3 months working with him, I dialed in nutrition, and he helps me with workouts. He keeps me accountable. Boom, I skyrocket. Now in 3 months I have more progress in my handstand than before in over a year. Okay, so ask for brutal feedback. Anyone, maybe ask your loved ones. Seriously, because with you, your friends, they're just too comfortable with you. They never ask you, they never criticize you. They always like, dude, you're good, come on. Like, or your loved ones like, oh babe, come on, everything is good, you look amazing. When you ask, like, yo, I have belly hairs hanging out, I have this love handles for the last 3 years, babe, how you feel about this? And they, of course, deep inside, they're like, yeah, he really let himself go. But of course, they're not gonna tell you because they're too nice, to you. So they'll be like, no, babe, you're doing great, you're looking amazing. But when you really ask someone, especially like the coach or someone, third party, I'll be honest with my clients. I'll be like, hey, you're not having good form. You sleep in here, you slack in there. So let's fix it. I'm just honest, but also just giving you straightforward game plan without any BS. So ask for feedback. That's why I'm always asking my clients, hey, film yourself at the gym. How is your form? How is your tempo? How is your form on the exercise? Are you tracking your food? Ask for any help. Sometimes it's good to ask any coach. Maybe sometimes you're at the gym and you see coach. Seriously, go and ask. Don't be scared. Like, they're not going to try. Maybe some of them going to try to sell you something right away. But usually, I'm genuinely, if I see someone asking me something, seriously, I'm happy to answer, because that actually helps me to refresh in my memory, all this stuff. So it's always super helpful. And I feel good, helping others, just for free. So ask some other coach, about nutrition. Because there's so much nowadays in social media that you listen to everything, don't eat this, don't eat that, but you gotta just have easier approach and maybe ask someone locally around you. Don't just look for social media, right? So number 3, ask for honest feedback, okay? Or ask for brutal feedback, and seriously, and be okay with criticism. Be totally okay. Don't be like, oh, what he tell me, screw him, I'm not eating enough protein, or my alcohol is, stopping my progress. Yeah, it does. That's why you're not losing weight. That's why you're stuck in that hamster wheel for the last 3 years. So listen, pay attention to that, to that feedback. All right. All right. Step number 4, track emotional reactions, or I call it emotional intelligence. Oh, wow, that's a big one. I love this one. Right. Track emotional reaction. All right. Number 4, write it down. Track emotional reaction. I call it, emotional intelligence. How is your emotional intelligence? And what I mean by that is basically, how pissed or how fast you're getting stressed about any little thing in your life. Let's say someone cuts you on the road, that's it. You just screw the whole day, or sometimes, you're too busy to go to the gym, and that's it. You're stuck in traffic. You're like, F that, I'm not going to the gym. Or, you skip workout basically after a bad day, or you go, exactly when you have a little bit of stress at work, you come home and you just start munching on everything that you see, the stress eating, right? So you start eating ice cream, or you just had one donut at work and you're like, that's it, screw that, I'm gonna go all in all day, and that all day turns into a whole week of mess. So how strong are your emotional intelligence, guys? Number 4, learn how to be emotionally intelligent. For example, my example today. I woke up yesterday, I'm going to bed. I am so hyped, I'm like this new month, new week, new opportunities to become a little bit better. I have busy, crazy day. I have schedule for the whole day. I wake up and I'm sick. I'm feeling like total poop right now. Seriously, you can hear my voice probably, like my body's aching, I'm in that position right now that I just want to lie down, crawl like this, right here on the couch and say F everything, for the rest of the day or maybe for the rest of the week. And that's it. And just be in bed, watch movies, eat something, eat some soup, and that's it. And just blame everything and everyone for the bad day or why I got sick, blame universe, for it. But I'm not. I'm building my mental and physical resilience through all the hardship that I do. And I'm like, you know what, in the morning, I'm literally hyping myself all day, no matter how bad I feel. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm feeling good, I don't get tired. I'm not sick. My body's fine, and I took shower instead of being like a mess, and canceling this call and not checking with my clients and canceling all the meetings for the day. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to do my best today. Yeah, maybe I'm not feeling my best, but I'll be just fine. So I took shower, I cleaned myself up, I put nice fresh clothes on me. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be sitting sick and canceling everything and just lying, with the bad hair in my bed, what is going to do to me? Nothing. But I'm still running the live, today. I'm still having my meetings with my clients. I still went for a movement of 30 minutes, even no matter how bad I felt. I still went and did something for 30 minutes. I went on the sun for a little bit. I stretched a little bit. I did some bar hanging at the gym for 30 minutes. No one says you have to go crazy, but just do a little bit something. So that's what I call emotional intelligence. How your day gets ruined or the whole week gets ruined if something bad happens. You get sick a little bit, someone cuts you on the street, you had a little bit of stress at work, and that's it. Now you have to eat the donuts, the whole pint of ice cream at home because, poor you. So this is your number 4, emotional intelligence, right? Write things down. And it's a work in progress, seriously. I've never been perfect in this, but I'm getting there, I'm building that day by day, every workout, every hardship I do, every races, Spartan races, Savage races, everything that I do always gets me closer or puts me, on a higher level of my emotional intelligence, okay? So that's how you're building it. There's no other way around, okay? All right, my friends. And last one, number 5, this is your 5th one. Record yourself in action, right? Record yourself in action, number 5. So, guys, track. What gets measured, I always call it what gets measured gets managed, right? So track, track, stay on track with your stuff, seriously. Stay on track, simple as that. Track your food, track it just for 1 week, stick to something. I'm not saying you have to do everything, work out every day, track your food, drink your water, everything. No, but start with one thing and stick to it for the next 7 to 10 days. So let's see how you can handle it. Seriously, track your food, track your sleep. Maybe just buy one of those trackers, Fitbit or Whoop or Apple Watch. They can be a couple $100 investment in yourself, will worth every single penny. I promise you. So track your data, okay? Record yourself in action. Like I said, track your sleep, track your food to see what's missing. If you're not seeing results, that definitely means something's missing, right? So maybe you're overeating. Maybe that alcohol that you're not tracking. Maybe your sleep is crap. You're saying that you're going to bed early, but you scroll in for 1 hour at midnight and you wake up at 6 feeling bad, tired, exhausted, and that threw the whole day down the drain. So you're saying you're eating healthy. You're saying you're working out, but how good are your workouts? How many steps you take in a day? One of my clients also, he's like, yeah, I take a lot of steps, but when we look at it, it's not that many steps. So I'm like, okay, so it's okay, to reflect right now on the previous months, and in order to lose the weight, that's why that sweet spot, 8 to 10,000 steps daily, will burn additional 500 calories a day, which will put you exactly in 1 pound, losing 1 pound of fat a week if you walk in for 8 to 10,000 steps. And listen, I know everyone's different, everyone has different lives, different jobs, kids, family, businesses to run, bills to pay. But listen, if someone like one of my clients, he has 4 kids, he runs a business, he finds the time to work out 3 times a week, he finds the time to track his food, he finds the time to build prep with 4 kids between 1-year-old and 11-year-old. He has 4 kids, almost first one right now, the newest is newborn, like Valerie is like almost 1 barely, and the oldest is 11, and he runs his own business, and he still finds time to work out three times a week at least, goes on a walk and tracks his food. So don't tell me unless you have 5 kids or more, that you have 7-figure business, or even those people find time to work out, then you're just bad in managing your time, period. That's it. So you got to look at that. That's why criticism, constructive criticism, it can be super beneficial. Don't take it like, oh, screw this guy, what he's talking about, like I'm so busy with my life. No, take it like, okay, here we go. If someone else can do this with that busy life, then probably I can find time and way to figure it out and maybe manage my time better, So maybe try it out, okay? So here we go, guys. That's it, I think, for today. Maybe I'll give you a couple bonus things right now. Let's see. Here's bonus. bonus stuff, okay? Really quick, almost 20 minutes in. I promise we'll be done in a few minutes. So bonus stuff. Remove toxic relationship from your life. That's a big one. Also, it's been super helpful for me. That, you know, really messes with your self-awareness. Remove toxic friends, even if it's family members, you know, someone who doesn't support you, who's like, come on, let's go, let's have a pizza. Oh, you're trying to eat healthy. Look at you trying to be nice and lean and looking good. You know, if they don't realize that, if the ignorance is bliss for them at that point, then they don't care about their own health, then don't listen to them. Seriously, eliminate all the toxic relationship from your life. Audit your relationship, you know, with everyone in your life. Who's there to level up with you, who's, you know, always looking for the next level, or someone who just sits there, you know, and do nothing and just criticize you or others, okay? And also look at your vices, man. The vices is a big one too, seriously, like, you know, and I'm talking from my own experience. Look at your vices. And again, that's again, another back to the first one, where am I lying, you know? Like if you're saying like, oh, just I have, you know, a little bit of alcohol on the weekend just to take the edge off. What edge off, man? What are you talking about? You know, we have edge pretty much. We have stress on a daily basis, and it's gonna be like this, you know, until they put you in a grave. So imagine if every single time, every single weekend, you have to take the edge off, you know, edge off because you had a busy week. Then you're gonna be doing that for the rest of your life, man. That's why cutting alcohol for the last 6 months for 200 days, exactly, it's on the spot right now, about 200 days. There was the other day. I'm alcohol free. I haven't had a sip of alcohol for 6 months since beginning of January. And seriously, the results night and day completely. So look at yourself and ask yourself, where's my vices coming? Am I, you know, vaping a little bit here and there? Am I drinking on the weekend? You know, I'm not tracking that. You know, seriously, I see huge improvement. Yes, you can lose weight with drinking here and there a little bit, but it makes 10 times easier, man. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. By cutting alcohol completely, it made my fat loss journey and I look 10 times better. That was back in January because of that. I mean, my energy levels, my sleep, my workouts, my cravings, all of that to a completely different level right now because I said no to one thing that I was lying to myself, and it's alcohol. So ask yourself, where's your vices coming from? Maybe it's watching TV every day instead of going for a walk. You know, go to your screen time. How much you spend time on social media? Is it 2, 3, 4, 5 hours? And you're telling that I have no time to go work out, to go for a walk, but just, you know, watching every single new show on Netflix? See? That's how it works. All right. So self-awareness is a ninja hack to unlock your life and fitness and get yourself to the next level. All right, guys? I hope that was helpful for you. Let me repeat one more time all of them. And I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So five key steps in order to improve, basically get better with your self-awareness, right? Number one, ask yourself, where am I lying to myself? Where am I genuinely lying? What you're doing something that you know it hurts you, but you just dishonest with yourself. Number two, sit in silence. Silence creates clarity, clarity. Silence creates clarity in your life. So sit in silence just 5-10 minutes a day. All right. Number three, ask for honest feedback. Ask for brutal feedback from someone, from the coach, from your loved ones. He'll be like, hey, be honest with me. What am I doing? That's something, I have to zoom out right now, 30 feet out, 30,000 feet above me, and something that I don't see I'm doing wrong. Please, guys, tell me. I'm totally open for constructive criticism right now. Ask people, ask your coach, hire coach, they will help you. Like how I said, I've talked to my clients all the time and I'm just giving them, constructive criticism. All right. Number four, track emotional reactions or improve your emotional intelligence. Track emotional reactions, how you react to every little thing in your life, like when you get sick, you like, screw this. When you have just busy day, you stress eating, or when you had bad day, or someone cuts you, or you're stuck in traffic, you're like, I'm not going to the gym. So look at that. Your emotional intelligence is super important. One of the most important things in this list. And last one, record yourself in action. Record yourself in action. What gets measured gets managed, right? So ask yourself, so what I'm missing, what data in my life can be improved or can be tracked in order for me to become better? My sleep, my steps, my nutrition, my workouts, anything, all of those together will be like perfect for you, but at least start with one. So here's your homework for everyone who's watching, guys. ask yourself, what's the one thing you can improve this week? What are you lying to yourself about? One thing. Find one thing and trying to improve it. All right? That's it for today. Much love, guys. Subscribe for more. I'll see you next one. Peace.